Yeah.
So, Hari Om all. For the last 2 weeks, we have um, started discussing on the uh, Bhagavad Gita chapter topics to understand what each chapter is uh, taking us to, and what is the core essence of each chapter, and also to understand why the chapters are named as yoga, right? And for the last 2 weeks, what we covered is uh, what the starting and the ending prayer of each chapter is about. And we also completed discussing on the first chapter title. And before we go to the second chapter title, maybe I'm thinking, Vijayji, we can do a short recap on the previous chapter title. Maybe one or two of us can tell, so that I think Isha ji has joined us after 2 weeks. She will also get it.
Yeah. Please,
Yeah.
you can decide. You can
Okay.
call on.
Santosh ji, Krishna ji, Satish ji, who wants to go?
Actually, I was also not.
Oh, okay. Then we will then falls back on Krishna ji and Satish ji. Can you explain about the first chapter title? What is it about, and why is it called yoga?
Yeah. So, so first chapter is basically about Arjuna's sorrow, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So
Mhm.
that what it means is, so Arjuna was in sorrow, like most of us would be in sorrow or any kind of disturbed situation where one is not able to move ahead or like not sustain with happiness or not be with whatever they want, right? So that's where like as similar way Arjuna was also in confused state. So that's about sorrow of Arjuna. Yoga is like uh, it is to get to know about the truth what it is, right? So it's both yoga means it's union. So in life, it is both like to have a sorrow and joy or happiness. So that's why, to put it simple, that's why it is called as Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So Arjuna is in sorrow. It why it is added as yoga is like it is also part of the consciousness or the oneness. So yeah, that's how I want.
What is part of consciousness?
Sorry, part would not be the right word. So it is sorrow which is made, it is a process to get to consciousness, I can say, where people really think about like what this life is about, and which leads to a direction or a reference through which one who has the right question, and through that it points to the actual uh,
Mhm.
truth.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how I want to put it.
Okay. Okay. Good. Yeah. Let's hear from Satish ji as well, and then
Yeah.
we'll see if someone has questions. Satish ji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Yeah. First chapter, it deals with, at any moment, we are either elated or confused or, yeah. In the similar way, Arjuna is also in the battleground and totally confused and is sort of in a turmoil, and he's unable to decide because he's in this emotional outburst. So this rotations, is almost sort of day to day we come across in life on various stages of decision making, and that's where Krishna pitches in and talks about delivering duties at that moment, what and why he's supposed to deliver the part of role play that has destined to him, and that's where this chapter deals with.
And why is like how is the name yoga fitting here for this chapter?
Look, yeah, it's a sort of a combination, like what uh, yeah. So it's I mean different stages of combination. Um, that's why it is yoga. I think I'm not able to put it
Oh.
properly.
I didn't get.
Yeah, it's like combination of different modes. That's what I want to.
Okay, let me see. Okay, Santosh ji and Isha ji, were you able to understand, follow the first chapter title? What is it covering, and why is it called? How the yoga name fits the chapter name from the explanation given by Krishna ji and Satish ji.
No, partially I understood. I mean,
Yeah,
not-
you can share. Yeah.
might be you can, throw some light on that.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and start, and yeah, we will pick up from there. This is like we are going back to revise what we started 6 months back. Isha ji, are you also looking into it?
Yeah, I was just thinking. Yeah, I think kind of got the picture. Unfortunately, the last class video I couldn't watch, but I feel yoga mostly for me. I feel the meaning of yoga is like either it'll be a jnana yoga, like knowledge, or it can be a spiritual path as well. So. Uh, uh, this 18 chapters name, it's not like the Krishna had defined chapter 1 is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga, nothing like that. It's segregate according to the shlokas, like how it is. It's a path, right? So it's flowing from one to another. Like the first one started with ignorance. It's like ignorance and Maya delusions that Arjuna was suffering. So that led because of these two he was suffering, and that led to questions. So it gave path to the next set where Krishna is talking Sankhya Yoga, no? Second chapter is. So Krishna again starts with, after the first of confusion of Arjuna, he starts giving references of how you are not the body, but you are a soul, you are the pure consciousness. So then comes the next chapter. So I feel
Yeah.
yoga is the
Yeah,
path.
we will discuss the second chapter today.
Yeah. So I think
Okay.
chapter is like it's just moving with a flow. So first chapter is basically about the suffering that's caused because of your ignorance or because of the Maya that is created. You have gone inside Maya and you have created within you, and that's I
Okay.
feel.
And what is your understanding of yoga, the word, and how is it applicable here?
Here, the suffering that because of suffering, what knowledge you gain. For me, yoga, as I said, is either you can take it as a path or you can take it as knowledge also. spiritual knowledge or spiritual path that you take to overcome this kind of sufferings.
Okay. Okay. So basically, can I say that ignorance causes suffering, and it basically creates the separation, right? Illusion of separation. I am separate from the other, which is uh, I and God are separated, and the yoga is about to unite, and uh, the suffering with the suffering, it's taking the seeker towards God, to unite the seeker to the God.
Yeah, one way of looking at it is, Sarvananji, I feel that is also fine. Or you can say that it is causing an illusion that, you have to do something about the problems, or it is in your hand that, you can do, everything is in your power. That is one illusion that is caused, and, attachment is another illusion.
Hmm.
So you can either say that, me and God are separate and we become one. That is one possibility of understanding. I'm fine. Or you can say God is different. I am also an individual. God is an individual. He's an higher above control. And something that leads me to God is also fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, something that leads me. So it's a sadhana that
Yeah,
leads you.
yeah, correct.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, Saravanan, like yoga is sort of a stage. I mean, here Arjuna is in that misconception stage and bounded by the worship. So that's where Krishna.
So that is
Yeah.
exactly what I want to clarify. Can we, like, now you are giving this meaning of stage to yoga, right? So I just wanted to see, like, is that also right way to interpret it, or there is a different way? Now, what is the correct way? Right, because what we know from the general knowledge, the more popular yoga asanas is like, um, uh, what we see is like to something that unites, right? That is the usual meaning. So in this case, how is it applicable? Why is it
Yeah.
being, right? So that's
Yeah.
why we are discussing. Yeah. Good.
In astrological point of view, right, there are different Raja Yoga, Gajakesari Yoga. That's some stages in your life where the fruits of different planetary positions, how they influence us. Like I'm trying to say why a stage.
Okay. Okay. Way one of the ways.
Yeah.
Or one of, so the stages towards, again, union, is it?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Again. Yeah.
Okay.
Pointed to it.
Okay. Fine. Santoshji, is that giving you clarity, or you have more questions?
See, what I understand is the Arjuna, me as a Arjuna, Vishada, because of the ignorance and the illusion that I am created around me, which causes suffering, and the technique which I am going to adapt using the Gita is what the yoga, I mean, or as Krishnaji mentioned, right? It's again, accepting the things the way it comes, a technique wherein I adapt to accept that this is an illusion, is what yoga means for me. This is what I understand.
We are looking at the techniques to.
It's, yeah. Because any yoga that we do, I mean, whatever we say yoga, it's all about, controlling the mind and emotions, which in turn, again, a kind of technique that I'm going to apply on it to achieve what I need. I can put across something to this.
So that's how we have also seen Jnana Yoga, Karma
Yes.
Yoga, right? Bhakti
Correct.
Yoga. Now here,
Correct.
Vishada Yoga. Can you apply Vishada to?
The Vishada in the sense, see, because of my ignorance, I am into illusion that I am in suffering, right? That is what the Vishada is all about. Until unless I claim that,
Or you
say,
accept.
yes.
Until you accept that you are
I
in suffering.
feel in my dream when I say that some snake has come and bitten me and I have been got badly hurt. Until unless I don't get out from the dream, I'll be in that state of that some snake has bitten or something has hurt, right? When I get out from that particular when I wake up, then I'll make, oh, this is just a dream. This is the ignorance what I wanted to quote here.
So through Vishada, this chapter is trying to teach us something.
It's again, every day we say that, it's always start with, because of the ignorance, we say that I am sufferer, I am, for me, why it is happening, why all this, shit things are coming to me only. See, that people are not working properly, also they are getting everything. I mean, these things, we actually keep on, bonding one by one, creating our own reactions, creating our own world, creating our own thoughts, and, we say because of ignorance, I am sufferer, I am suffering. Right? I mean, that is actually, that is not a way. I mean, that is what the name given, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Even Arjuna was also in a Vishada similar to you. In order to pass that through that particular yoga, it's just a path, as I mentioned.
Okay. Thank you. Hari Om, Arjunji. Not sure if he's here. Okay. Yeah. So if no other questions, maybe Vijayji, we can move to the second chapter.
Does Padmaji or Shubhaji or you want to add anything more to the first chapter? Padmaji, is there anything that you would like to say?
No, I think mostly they have covered everything. But yeah, why it is a yoga, I would like to add that so it is a union of Jivatma and Paramatma. So the suffering itself is the means and the end
And also.
to everything. So that is something I would like to add. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Do you want to elaborate on that, Padmaji? How is suffering a means and an end?
Okay. Arjuna and Krishna have been associated with each other not only as a friend, not only as guru and disciple, but they have also been related to each other from the very beginning. So they were aware of each other. They have been in contact with each other. However, the Bhagavad Gita was given to Arjuna at a specific point in his life. And that point is the essence of the whole Bhagavad Gita, I feel, where in spite of being a warrior of his caliber, who was invincible for his time, and yet when the time for performance, for action came, he was bewildered. He was he was not knowing what to do. He was confused, and that is the state of any one of us who are Arjuna in our lives, where we are not able to take any decisions clearly. There is not clarity. We are confused. We don't know whether what we are doing is right or wrong. I think at that moment when you become helpless is when you get the bhava of surrender to someone higher who can help me, who is able to give me help right now where I am at my lowest and I don't know what to do. So in that helpless moment only, the bhava of surrender comes. And when the bhava of surrender comes is when the knowledge that Krishna is about to give you can be received fully, can be accepted fully. So hence I say, if he doesn't have the suffering, he wouldn't have the complete surrender. Same is with us, I think, in our lives. When we feel that despondency is when we look for answers elsewhere, and we don't have that ego of I know everything at that point. There is a feeling in us that somebody higher has to help me. So that is when the help also will come, I feel. So that
Actually,
is why I say that suffering is a means. If there was no suffering, there would be no seeking. I think even with all of us at one point, when we have begun our spiritual journey, It is something that this kind of seeking has something in our life has started us to seek something higher. So that is why I say that it is a means and an end.
Yeah, Padmaji. So what I've seen is suffering is there in almost everyone in some form or other. It is when the jiva is ready to seek, and when the jiva is ready to listen, right? That is when the whole uh, uh, getting out of the suffering starts. Because what I see is, uh, I hear this like life is like this. There is nothing, no way out. It is all fate, and like many are stuck in that state, right? And I always wonder, like, why don't you start to seek, right? And like, and there I see that uh, their own due to prarabdha or what, like there is this uh, trust missing in almost like everyone. And I cannot, like, what I hear is like nobody can be trusted. Everyone is there for their self, or like I have to protect, or like I am this victim thing, right? So the suffering is a starting point, but what actually lifts is like when I say that, you know what, I am ready, I want to see if someone can help, and if someone is there to help, I'm willing to listen, I'm willing to hear, I'm willing to do, I'm willing to walk with that person. That trust, to get that trust, I feel is the much bigger one than like that suffering is almost everyone, all the jivas are in suffering because of some or other point. Though there are some who will say that like this is life, I have accepted this, there is no suffering. That is different. For a moment they can say and run away, but not for long, right? But it is like accepting it and then ready to seek. I think that becomes uh, the fire lit to take off. Otherwise, I feel like they're stuck there, and
The
it is difficult.
the kind of suffering I am mentioning is
Uh,
most of the time, whether you want or not, the ego is always there to say that I can do it. I know the solution. Even if somebody in your relation want to help you, you will not easily accept it because the ego is the ego functions like that. It tells you, oh no, I know everything. I can do. You don't need to guide me. Something like that. However, the kind of suffering that leads you to surrender is something where you are helpless. No, nothing from
so the ego
outside.
has given up, basically
Yeah,
for
so yes. So when the ego doesn't interfere, that is when true surrender will happen. Because that is why I think it is important that why Arjuna was given, because he was the most capable warrior.
Mm.
Obviously, it's not like he has not had suffering before. But this suffering that he is facing at this point in time is the one that breaks him completely, that renders him helpless, and he is forced to surrender and to a higher power. So that is what I am talking. I think for everyone it is like that. I feel when you reach that point where you feel helpless, where you think no help can come from anywhere, is where you step and seek a higher person to give knowledge to you.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Padmaji. Shivaji.
I think Padma has beautifully put it. All the points taken care by her. Thank you, Padma. It was actually very nice. The explanations were very apt and very to the point.
Yeah. Somewhere there has to be a start, and the start has to be in the lowest point. So, and like to launch to a highest high, right? Yeah. Anyone else? Santoshi, Ishaji, any questions for Padmaji? I hope it has
No,
taken
no. It was
clarity to
taken clear. Yeah. She has actually elaborated very well. But I mean, she has put one point, that is, until unless we don't drop the ego, or we claim the ego, the surrenderness will never come. I mean, that is a very very important point. Even though so many times, as she was mentioning, right, that this ego will never allow us to surrender itself. Hey, I can do it. Why not? Why it is not possible from me? I know how to do it. I have 100% knowledge. I have this. I have that. But that will not help until unless you surrender. Only then the things will start changing. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions from anyone? Yeah, we also actually looked into the all the topics at a high level to see how the Gita is taking us from the beginning Vishada towards the end. What is the end, and like what are the stages also? That also Vijayji showed how the 18 steps are organized. We can recap on those also. Yeah.
Are you referring to this?
Yes, Vijayji. Yes, Vijayji. Maybe you can start with this and move to the second chapter.
Okay. Yeah, so the essential message is that you are that. So the beginning point is the Vishada, and Vishada is because there is something that is separate. I feel I'm separated from maybe people around me, or maybe the situations are making me feel I am less or I am more, whatever. At the end of the day, the sense of separation, that I am separate, is what causes all the Vishada. And what is the source of that separation? What is the root cause of that separation? So already Padmaji and all of you hinted at it. It is my own sense of thinking about who I think I am, what we refer as the ego. So this ego divides the world into mine and others. So this is the fundamental separation that you and I experience in life. And until this separation is removed, it is bound to create suffering in one form or the other. It could be physical suffering in the form of various kinds of diseases, discomfort, so on and so forth, or it could be mental. So it has various manifestations. And the fundamental message of Bhagavad Gita is this suffering is because of the ignorance, and the root ignorance is who you are is not clearly realized. And the essential focus of Bhagavad Gita is to take us through 18 steps or 18 chapters into the realization that you are that only, that which is permanent, that which is divine, that which is all pervading. That divine consciousness is who you are. So this essentially then removes the separation that I and others. Because what you and I refer as divine is something that all of us pray to, all of us feel that there is something higher. You are that higher only, is the essential message of Bhagavad Gita. But what is that higher? Each one of us may have our own concepts, our own ideas, based on either cultural, religious, various other conditioning. So it has to be realized in a very clear way. Only that clarity can remove this sense of separation. So that is the fundamental focus of Bhagavad Gita. Tat Tvamasi. The first 6 chapters give us the clarity of who I really am. And the next 6 chapters are about what is this we refer as the divine, or this entirety, seeing the so-called universal self, Brahma Darshana. And then the last 6 chapters reconciles and establishes that this and that there are no two, Advaita, which once when it is realized clearly, brings about a deep inner transformation. The transformation that helps one to see all as myself only. And that is the true awakening. When there is no more feeling that I and others are there, when the others are seen as me, that is what the realized masters refer as Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, a sense of one world, one family. Not intellectually, but experientially. So this is the fundamental focus of Bhagavad Gita. As a transformational agent, it helps you and me to transform from feeling that I am an individual and separate from the rest to realizing that that essential universal self is who I am. Any further points to be added? Okay. Then, we can continue our contemplation. Saranji, over to you.
So second chapter title is Sankhya Yoga, Yoga of Pure Knowledge. Who am I? So here, let's start with this. Vijayji, maybe the meaning also will help. Sankhya is what
It has origin in the Sankhya, right? Sankhya means what? Numbers. What are numbers? Numbers are very precise items. There is no confusion when you say this is 1, this is 2. So something which is not confusing, something which is very clear, something which is very precise. So such a knowledge is Sankhya Yoga.
Okay. Anyone wants to go to talk about this title? It is cryptic, I guess. Certainly, say like Sankhya Yoga. But if you recollect, we have completed the chapter. So we are coming back now. So the answer is, who am I? I guess now the question is like, the title says Sankhya, and how's the connection?
I'll go, Saravananji.
Okay.
So, Sankhya, like how Vijayaji said just now, it is very precise. It is universal, we can say. So, the Sankhya philosophy itself was given by Kapila Muni, and it is there as part of the Bhagavatam. And Kapila Muni again is an avatar of Krishna only. So it explains that all of the creation stems from two things, which is Purusha and Prakriti. So Purusha is pure consciousness. So the teaching that is given in this chapter is essentially only one, which is you are the soul. You are the Atman, you are not the BMI or the body, mind, intellect, is the teaching given in this chapter. I feel that after the surrender, it is like a bomb that he throws at Arjuna, that, who he clearly tells him who he is and not who he thinks he is. Like every one of us, Arjuna also might think, oh, I am the greatest warrior. I am a son and all these people are my relatives. So there is a lot of things that he is imagining himself to be. So I think that is kind of shattered in that one statement of who he actually is when Paramatma says that you are the pure consciousness. So that is the first teaching he is giving to Arjuna. So how I see this is when he gives him that teaching, it is also an implied meaning there that you have to remove all the attachment to the material world, because of which you are not able to perform at this moment right now. And that is why you have so many questions and confusions arising within you. So you can say that the yoga in this, how I see the yoga in coming in this chapter is, the teaching is very precise that you are the Atman. I think the yoga comes from the fact that when you are removing yourself from the attachment to the material world, detachment also results in attachment, but attachment to what? I
Yes.
think that is what leads you to the third chapter as to how you have to perform your actions next.
Oh,
If you are detaching from the material world, so how do I perform the actions then? That is the question that normally would naturally arise within you. And who do you attach yourself to while performing the actions? So I think the detachment from the material world leads to the attachment to Krishna only, or the self. You repose in yourself, and because one of the other teaching in this chapter is also you cannot kill anyone. There is no one to kill because no one is born. So who you see have also taken birth many times is what he talks in other shlokas in that chapter. So if no one is born, then who is there to kill? So I think the teaching is very clear, and so the essential message is to remove the attachment from the material world, and uh, think about who I really am, establish yourself in that, and then perform actions. So that is also the yoga that is coming in there. That's all. Thank you.
mhm. So, I guess the text, the yoga of pure knowledge, is written based on the message that is conveyed in this chapter. Right, I'm hoping, but and the title is going towards like, what is this clear message? Is it Sankhya? Is delivering a clear message, and that message that message happens to be pure knowledge of self, of
Yeah,
who
who you are is very precise. It is unalterable, like how Sir described. One is universal, it is acceptable in any country, any language. One is one. So that is what he's talking about here. You are a soul applies to everyone, everywhere, universally. So it is a universal truth that he is talking about here. So who you are is a universal truth. You are eternal, you are infinite. That is the essential teaching of Bhagavad Gita, or even Vedanta, right?
okay.
So
So in this chapter
anything,
itself, he's saying both, which is like, you are not who you think, which is why you are having this sorrow, and you are that which is consciousness. That whole message is given here,
yeah,
and
it will come. It will come, because
the whole thing is given.
initially he will talk about who you are. You are the pure soul. And this shloka has 72 shlokas, if I'm not wrong, this chapter. And towards the 50th shloka, he starts to talk about Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna is when you establish yourself in the knowledge of self and perform. So that is where it comes. So this whole chapter will cover everything related to who you are, who you think you are, and how you should be performing the actions. And by being a Sthita Prajna, what is the result of being a Sthita Prajna? So you are not bewildered by anything that comes to you. You are not overjoyed by the joys in your life, and you are not bewildered by the sorrows also in your life. So that is
Mhm,
what is Sthita Prajna. And he
mhm.
talks about that, and then only he goes into Karma Yoga, which is the next chapter.
Basically, he breaks the ground on which Arjuna is standing, saying like, you are not all that you think, and like there is something new he has given. Now it's like, okay, throughout my life, I lived based on this truth. If this is not the truth, and what you are saying is the truth, then it's like a rebirth. What should I do now? Why am I here? What should I do? Right? All the other next questions come.
Yeah, because I think the entire problem for him was that all these people standing in front of me are related to me, right? So how
Yeah.
can I kill them? How can I use violence against them? Is it not sinful? Is it not sinful? And even if I win in this war, even if I manage to kill all of them and emerge victorious, is it really worthwhile to have done all this? Is all the questions that is coming to him.
Mm.
And Padmaji, in this chapter, Sri Krishna also teaches about the essential Karma Yoga steps. So this chapter is not only about who I am or who you are, it also points to, like you rightly said, Sthita Prajna and the way one should function in life. All that
Everything is given.
in the second chapter. Because the very famous 2.47, no? Karmanya vadikaraste is.
Vikarasya ma phaleshu kadachana. Yeah.
Okay. This is like the whole truth is given in one important chapter then. Now the thing is, if I got the message, then the whole Gita ends. Right? Why didn't it stop at 2? And so obviously, I'm like how we are having so many questions, because we finished, if not for 2 chapters, we finished more than 2 years, and like we still have more questions. Okay. Any other questions from anyone? Aisha ji, Santosh ji, Satish ji, Krishna ji.
No, from my side there is no questions.
Vibha ji.
Yeah. So the Sankhya, this chapter is literally considered the highest knowledge. And if we know this particular chapter, I believe you know the Bhagavad Gita in full. So people usually say, if not the all 18 chapters, at least look at the second chapter and learn the Bhagavad Gita is how it is being described. So this covers literally everything in life and how we have to live our life and how we can be healthy and peaceful by following the rules in this chapter. So I would like to just gist out the 4 main things what is there in this chapter. First is Arjuna completely surrendering to Krishna, and the concept of Guru and Shishya is being highlighted here. When we surrender to our Guru, everything else falls in place and all our worries are gone. So the first step is surrendering to our Guru. So the concept of Krishna as the Guru and Arjuna as the disciple is what is shown in this. The second point I would like to highlight is this chapter talks about the main cause of grief. What is the main cause of grief in all our lives, which is nothing but ignorance of our true self. We think that all other material things are what we need in life, but we don't realize, like in this slide it says, who am I? We don't realize who we are. So the true self is not known. So that ignorance is the second point, which is highlighted in this chapter. The third point, as Sir said, even Karma Yoga, the Karmanya Vadikaraste, that shloka says that when we do our duty selflessly and without expecting any fruits, we will have a very peaceful life and will not be going through any suffering. So that is one more point which is highlighted here. And the fourth point I would like to say is what Padmaji was saying, a Sthita Prajna attitude. When you have that attitude wherein your mind is steady and you have that one-pointed devotion that I surrender to God and I have no expectations and I will keep on doing my duty, that is when you will not have any worries in life or or you have no sufferings. These are the four main points I would like to gist down what is there in this chapter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome,
She
Shubhaji.
is really the Panchmata.
Ah.
Exactly, she put the points. Yeah.
So Panchmata, fifth point also has to be added. You missed the fifth point.
She got the 4 pillars. The table is stable.
Very nice.
I have spent so many days on Gita, but today I got so much information which I will remember for chapter 2. Nice. Okay. Thanks, Shubhaji, and yeah, Vijayji, over to you.
Yeah, so Bhagavad Gita is not an informational text, it's a transformational text. What does it mean? That it has to transform the one who is consuming it. So therefore, fundamentally, Sri Krishna is teaching you and me transformational techniques. And what is fundamentally bothering you and me is the way you and I think about life. So he is therefore helping you and me, first of all, develop clarity about who I am. Because the fundamental problem in life arises because of the way in which I think about life. If, let's say, a situation has happened, let's assume, my neighbor has lost a very, let's say, very precious jewel. It doesn't bother me much. Why? It is my neighbor's. But as much as 100 rupee in my house, I am bothered. Why? My money. So if you look at it now, using that simple example, in life, so many situations are happening. Not all the situations bother you or me. The situations that you and I feel are connected to me and mine are the ones that you and I are bothered with. But you and I never ask the question, who am I? Who is this who is bothered? Somebody comes and says, you look very ugly. I am bothered. Or somebody may come and say, you are very dark complexion. I am bothered. Or somebody may come and say, you are idiot in your thinking. I am bothered. Or somebody may come and say, oh, people from your caste, they are very shabby people. I am bothered. Or your language. So like that, there are 100 million ways by which I am identified as. You know who I am? I'm a man. I'm smart. I'm tall. I'm from this region. I'm that language. I'm this caste. I'm this religion. Like that, there are 100 million ways by which I have identified myself with. And I've never bothered to ask the simple question, what am I in that? Which identity I am in that? I simply go on living with those identities. Every identity is imposed on me, and I've never bothered to question any of these identities. So fundamentally, my problem in life is because of these identities. So therefore, Sri Krishna asks simple fundamental questions throughout Bhagavad Gita, through Arjuna, and through Sri Krishna, the clarity. So fundamentally, who I am, because every other activity stems from that. Is it not? Anything that you and I do stems from whatever the notion that you and I carry about who I am. So that's a fundamental thing. It helps to clarify who I am. Am I this, whatever that I call as this body, this mind, this various kinds of identities that I carry in my mind, are who I am? That's the first thing. It points essentially, if you follow the questions and the answers given by Sri Krishna, it leads you to your essential beingness, being. So the first fundamental aspect that Bhagavad Gita helps you and me to clarify very clearly is being. Then How do I function in the world? Because I get caught up with two things: in who I think I am and in how I am doing whatever I am doing in life. I may be doing 100 things in life. I may be driving a car, I may be cooking, I may be talking, I may be chanting, I may be going to temple, I may be sleeping. 100 million things I may be doing. But how am I doing? Why am I doing whatever I'm doing? So if these questions are not asked in a very earnest way, they bind me. They, they, they put me in a soup. So therefore, the second fundamental aspect that Sri Krishna helps you and me to realize is about doing. How I should do whatever I am doing in my life. So the being, who am I? He clarifies. And how I should do whatever I need to do, he clarifies. But of course, you and me learn in life not by simply somebody teaching or somebody coming and giving gyan. You and I need right role models, because fundamentally you and I learn by mimicking. Whatever you and I have learned, we've learned through seeing somebody being that. Be it your language, be it your mannerisms, be it your food, be it your dress, be it whatever that you think you are currently displaying, you call as my personality. Please notice it is something that you picked up from somebody, which means that this essential pure knowledge that Sri Krishna is teaching, that you are not what you think you are, but you are that divine self, and how that divine self functions in life. If this is given without reference to someone that you and I can look up to, it becomes a more of a gyan. So therefore, he establishes who should your and my role model be in life. So sthita prajna, one is I need to develop that quality, correct? But I also need to see that in action in life. Like how Sarunji started, no? Why people crib in life? Everybody is selfish. Everybody is out to look after only their own interest. But then there comes someone who seems to be doing everything for you and me. So that is another very important aspect that Sri Krishna establishes in this chapter. Who is that you and I should look up to? So in a way, throughout Bhagavad Gita, he is essentially giving you and me that subtle way by which you and I should examine life. Viveka. He's essentially teaching Viveka. Through Viveka, he is helping you and me see the truth. And for this to become truly a transformational process, he is also helping you and me recognize from whom we should really imbibe these things. Because if Bhagavad Gita is simply read as a text, it may not a lot of sense. And if Bhagavad Gita is simply heard from someone who himself or herself is not yet realized, it will also create a whole lot of other confusion. So therefore, it establishes what is the purest knowledge and from whom we should imbibe this, which is the essential nature of the rest of the chapters. If you really see, in every chapter, these themes repeat. Who is a realized being and how they function in the world. And due to what they function the way they function. What is that essential realization they have? So these are the three things: being, doing, and Sadguru. This is what Bhagavad Gita establishes right in the beginning, because that is the thread that runs throughout the other chapters then. Hari Om. Any other points to add or any other questions?
Santosh ji, Satish ji, Krishna ji.
No, I don't have any questions, Sarvanji. Yeah, one thing, when you say being, right, Vijayji?
Yeah.
Being in the sense, I mean, how can you please elaborate on that?
Who am I? Who are you? When you examine the essential nature of that, that leads to your essential being.
Mm-hmm.
And why it is a being? Because you cannot call it as something that was or something that will be. It is something that is ever present, being.
Okay.
And that essential being is the basis of every other, whatever you and I call as happening.
Mm-hmm. It's about, realizing that what you being, your true nature,
Who you are.
or who you are.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thanks, Vijay.
Isha ji, were you able to follow any questions you have?
So sorry, Sarananji, my network is bad. I was just typing to send. I could only hear partially. And I will again watch the video, and in case I have doubts, I'll put it in the group.
Okay. Yeah, so mainly we want to see if you're able to get the flow of how the chapter 1 led to chapter 2 and the teaching in chapter 2, the message of chapter 2, right? And see how we are able to uh, like how far it has gone in, because sometimes it may look like we are listening and like it looks like okay, but later on when you have to revisit it, right, when you do manana, the lot of questions come up, right? So we are trying to see um, uh, if everyone is able to follow and get it with no questions, so that you know why the next, or like it should prompt you to think like what next, why next, like what will come after this and why, if the message is given very clearly here. Yeah, if no questions, maybe we can take the third chapter title as well, Vijayji, maybe. Okay, so the third one is karma yoga, and the freedom from enjoyership.
Sarvanji, first is title, and then again we are also contemplating on the end shloka also, right?
So end sloka and beginning sloka, it is the same for every chapter, and we covered it in the first
Okay.
session. Maybe, yeah, you can check the recording.
Got
Come
it.
back.
Okay.
Yeah. So, or like, just if I have to give a summary, so the question was like, is Gita giving the knowledge? Okay, is Krishna giving the knowledge that one needs to know? Okay. Number two, is the knowledge given in Gita, is it complete that you don't need to go look for any other text beyond this? Is it covering all the areas? Like in school, you go through this math, science, right? History, right? So
Yes.
like in that way, if to draw parallels, right? Is Bhagavad Gita covering all the things that one needs to know? That like by the end, when someone completes it, it is like clear and like there is no more that one is looking for, right?
Okay.
And third, is it giving only the theory, or is it giving the techniques also? Okay, it says right, what is that jnana? It's giving Brahma Vidya. Okay, and then like what are the techniques? The techniques are referred to as Yoga Shastra.
Yes, right.
Okay, that's the Yoga Shastra is what right? We will be getting in every chapter. There are techniques given, right? So those are the techniques that seeker who is like uh, deeply listening to the teaching is able to get it, and the idea is we should be able to use it in day-to-day life, and only then the transformation what Vijayji was saying, right, is going to happen.
Yes.
Otherwise it will remain as any other
Awesome.
book, right, story book, another it, right, unless the purpose is achieved, then like it is not complete. So if the for the purpose of Gita to be achieved, the techniques has to be applied. For that, you need to know the techniques that are given along with
Yes.
the knowledge. Knowledge is easy, right? I have to listen to it, I get it. Now it's like saying, hey, from here to go to your destination, this is how you have to go. Oh, okay, good. But then you have to go.
Correct.
And there they may say that be careful when you reach there, you will see this. At that time, you have to make this decision. You have to do this, right?
Correct.
Now you have to remember it, and when you reach there, it has to come to you that, oh, you know what, I was told. Now I have to use this. Otherwise, you are going to, if you forget it, because let's say like I didn't pay attention, or I, right, then you will say that, oh, what is this guy? He gave all this. He was like so confident. He gave me all the route, but then like now I'm stuck. And now if I have to go back, it was going to take more time, and I don't know how I'll go ahead. Right? It will create more of that confusion there. Right? So that those are the techniques that we have to pay attention to get it, and then like see how we are able to use it on a daily life.
Thank you, Saravanji. Got it.
Wonderful said, Saravaji.
No. So that's how the whole question started for me. I've been listening and like we are discussing, but then once in a while I have to stop and say like, okay, where did I start? Why did I start? And then we go.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So that brings us to the third chapter, right? Freedom from enjoyership, karma yoga. Anybody wants to go? So Padmaji has given clue with her explanation, and based on the message from chapter 2, what is that nature coming? What can one expect? Who wants to go?
Yeah, I'll only go.
Yeah.
See, when you say freedom from enjoyership, in the sense, whenever I claim that I am doer and I am the sufferer, it's that will actually gives me happiness in return. Where there is when I feel, yes, I'm comfort and I'm happy. Today I got say 1 lakh rupees, and tomorrow, for example, today I bought a car. Yeah, I'm happy, and tomorrow I'll pay EMI. I'll be sorrow, which in the turn, which in turn that says that, where there is an enjoyership, there is also a there is also a sorrowship, which means it is again part of the same coin. It's a face of the two faces of the coin, which in turn, whenever we drop this particular enjoyership and the doership and accept the things whatever comes, and perform the action which is been actually need to be performed, I think you will achieve that peace. I mean, the self, whatever the you really are. That's what I understand.
Mhm. Yeah. So question is then when you're doing action always has a result, and when the result is unfavorable, I would like to get the freedom from enjoyership. Fine. If the result is favorable, then also you want the freedom. It's like saying you eat ice cream, but you cannot enjoy the sweet.
See, I okay. See, it's been one and a half year journey with this Bhagavad Gita classes for me. Okay. Initially, when I started, even though after attending the Vedanta classes there, I was having some kind of confusion and some little things where some kind of confusion was going on. And then once I started these classes, right, I noted down. I noted that what is the path that I'm tracking on, what's the path that I'm going on, and what does it really means when I say that enjoyership. Okay, I mean, I just wanted to put one example over here. Okay, Friday. I mean, I'm not claiming that. I'm not because I drop the doership in my organization whenever I do. Because when I claim something, it is hurting me. When I say that, but there is definitely lesson learned, whatever that something goes wrong. Yes, there is a lesson learned, and some escalations happens. They will throw on us. Yes, we'll accept that. And similarly, they praise us. Yes, we'll accept it. But doership is completely gone. And for this quarter, I got award as a best employee. And I never expected that. I mean, yesterday my manager called me, hey, congrats, man, you got this one. I told him, okay, fine. I mean, I never felt that because there is no doership. And tomorrow, immediately they will come and definitely they will tell, hey, what man, this product, we had this issue with this product and what you people are doing, blah, 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 things. Yes, we'll accept it. Yes, there is a learning on that. We are learning and going forward. But the thing is that whatever that we are learning, whatever that we are doing is not, there is no claiming that, I am doing. This suffering is for me. And this is for me. This praise is for me. That is completely gone, I can say. I can claim that, yes, it is dropped. Because if I'm not, if I would have claimed, definitely I'm just disclosing here. I just told my wife, and even for my teammates also, I haven't told that, hey, I received an award. That doesn't gives any, joy for me. I mean, the claim
But
itself.
what if an unfavorable event happened?
Unfavor also I'll accept. That's what I told you, right?
Uh.
Friday night they told, and yesterday we were about to work and there was some issue and they just blasted us. Okay, fine, we'll accept it. There is nothing. There is not even, there is no acceptance of, we are doing action. That's it. Whatever
So
comes
here,
to us.
enjoyership is not feeling hurt also.
Yes. Enjoyership in a sense is something good happened. I enjoyed. I'm enjoyer. Yes, right. As I give an example, I took a car. I had purchased a new car and I enjoyed my first drive with long drive. And again next month I'm paying the EMI. I need to pay so much of lakhs. Again there comes the sorrow. I mean, those things are part of our journey. Until unless I know who am I and what all the action that I'm performing, without that doership, without that enjoyership, without that claiming, is what the path, the yoga of action, what I understand from this particular chapter 3.
Now, why are you able to do that? Any connection to the chapter 2?
It's I mean, I was not there when chapter 2 was being done. I need to go and
Maybe
recheck
like
on
from
that.
the message given. I think
Yeah.
Bhagavad
Yes.
Bhagavad gave full summary.
Yes. Upaji gave a summary. And in that, second chapter, as you mentioned, it has everything. And then next chapter starts, it's just an elaboration of those, points or 4 pillars or 5 pillars, what Vijayji was mentioning. In that, when I take this particular third chapter as a karma yoga, because that is a day-to-day activity, what we do, and declaring myself, say that, I'm not the doership, I'm not the, person who is doing it. There is, this body as an instrument. And things will keep on happening until unless you surrender. All the surrenderness is there, and going to the path, everything is there, following, applying the techniques. As at the end of the day, as you mentioned, when I question back, what is that, this particular thing, what is this chapter, what I learned from this chapter, what is that I'm going to apply, and what is that I'm going to do. And of course, there are falls. Pitfalls are always there in the life, but immediately we'll just spike, like, and we'll come back.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Who wants to go next? Ishaji, Krishnaji, Satishji. Let me call Ishaji.
Yes, sir. Anandji, I heard Santosh ji full without network break. Actually, yeah. What am I? I'm supposed to ask questions, is it? I'm
No.
sorry.
No, so okay, so how was the chapter 2 message leading to chapter 3, and what is chapter 3 title talking about? What is your inference?
Uh,
Are you able to see the flow from this chapter
yeah,
2?
I couldn't get the flow of conversation. Unfortunately, we are having a very bad connection today.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, how do I'm so lost actually, because this usually happens when I'm stuck with one point. I'll be there only. I won't even hear the remaining things.
Okay.
What happens? But yeah, there is a flow in the sense when we start off, as discussed. I think this. How do I say? When we don't, when things are bad, we don't suffer, and when things are good, we don't enjoy. Is when I think that's what is freedom from everything, both. So, the image which you have put in case if I have to take the example of the same image, all we can do, for example, of our life when we are farming also, the only thing we can do is we can go plant in the right time according to us, right? The right time maybe May or something, and then wait for the rains. So that's our job. After that, we'll start putting in fertilizers or minerals or whatever we do. We keep doing. That is our job. So the suffering and the result both are nothing to do with our the process of our work. So when the crop is really good, we can't say, "Hey, we did a very good job," because it. So many things has to come together for the result to arrive. So the results are not something which is in your control, and so is our losses also, which is not in our control. So
But
that's
then what uh, motivates you to give your best 100%, or sometimes they say 200%, because looks like you are free from the enjoyership. You are not going to enjoy or suffer, and it's not in your control. As you said, the outcome is. Then what motivates one to go all in without desiring an outcome? Will you be able to put the 200%?
Vijay ji, I'm sorry, Saranand ji. See, one thing I can only talk about myself again.
Yes, I'm asking about yourself.
Yeah. See, for me, I don't need a motivation. I personally don't need a motivation at all. So if you're telling me, if you're asking today, Isha, why are you breathing? What motivates you to breathe? It's a natural process. I am breathing. That's it. That doesn't mean my breath will not stop in next moment, or I might keep breathing. So the motivation is, I cannot say I'm breathing because my motivation is to stay alive. No. So all I can do is learn some kriya or something so that I can regulate my breathing. That's all. Okay. So motivation for an everyday to do my job, it's a natural flow for me. If I enjoy doing it, I do it. If I don't, I will not do it. There is nothing I'm expecting a certain result out of it. This is just my personality from a really.
I'm just going to play with the words. You just said if you enjoy doing it, you will do it. And here we're talking about freedom from enjoyership. Can you do without enjoying?
The process, I will definitely like doing it. In case I was doing an LCM, okay, I don't know why I said LCM, but okay, fine, I'm doing an LCM. So I'm doing it when I like doing like 2,4, and I'll do it. I will just do it. Whether the answer is wrong or not, I don't know. If I like taking it and doing a math, I will do it. So only that process of doing something is what I will do. The result or bad or good is not in my hand. I will not be motivated to do because I'm getting something. I will just do. So see, how I say,
You,
like, you in my job, if I have to say job, I will just do, if it's recruitment, if I'm talking to somebody and I'm processing a candidate, that's all. The time when I'm talking to him and I'm listening is what I give in my work. After that, when I'm processing, yes, I will give my work. After that, what will I do? Saravanan, many a times the candidates will quit on 89th day. Okay, this is like too much. 90th day, if they complete only, we get money. Otherwise, everything is gone. All my work, everything is gone. So it's very common for us to lose on 89th day. So is it in my hand? No. Okay, candidate has completed and he is working also after 1 year. Again, it is not in my hand whether the client will pay us or not. Right? So when nothing is there, but did it stop us from working? No. We will just keep doing it because that is what we are doing. We'll keep doing it.
So as a duty, you are doing it. But you are freeing yourself from the from enjoying from the result, the enjoyment of the result.
Yeah. See, so much of hard work you cook, and if somebody is not eating now, what can I do? Or if the food is not even tasty, also, what can I do?
You might have freed from enjoying the tasteless food, but others may want to.
So, you given your effort, you put in your effort, you do it. But after that, saying that, wow, I create. See, now in case I have done something really nice, I can say, hey, I'm such a. Now, today the food was good, and my husband was like, you can become a chef. I was like, yeah, right. Everything has to cook by.
That gives a high, right? At that time, you may not remember this.
No high. All this. Usupeti. I don't want to.
Okay, you got the right word.
So, when Santosh ji said I got best employee award, I was like, no, it's not recognition, it's a trap.
Santosh ji, I think you have to come up with a better example now.
No. I mean that is the reason. There is no claim from me that.
That's what I'm saying. You have to come up with a better example.
I am free from that. Whether they give 101 awards, also I am not getting trapped, or they don't give me award, also I am not getting trapped. Even one more thing, what I wanted to put here is, say, freedom from enjoyment, in the sense, when I say I enjoy, I am enjoying without the doership. That is also there.
Yeah.
Okay. And one more thing is, without enjoying, you cannot do anything. And one more, and again, when I say enjoying, how well attached to that particular action is also matters. Okay, and also, without enjoying, without doership, also we can enjoy. Is what I stand. That is
And
what.
also, what was surprising is this title. Usually, seen this title as freedom from doership, but here it was freedom for enjoyership. So,
yeah, because you can do, but then the big thing is on the final enjoyment. There you have to give up.
No, that is what I say. I mean, day-to-day action.
You put all the hard work and like everything comes out. Boss says, "Awesome job," but this year, no salary hike.
That is always there. That is always there. These are all only trap, as Ishaji was mentioning, right? I'm just not bothered about it. Okay, fine, cool. But I enjoy. Without doership. That's what I wanted to claim here. That is the freedom. That is what the freedom for me from the enjoyship.
Yeah, I wish sometimes, Vijayji, I want to give this talk to all my engineers in the team so that I just went through the difficult 2 weeks of the year.
So, see, let's understand the relationship here. So, we already established that, who I am is the fundamental cause of disturbance in life, and how I function how I function in life is the other big fundamental cause of disturbance. See, who you are is one thing, but how do you function in life? So you have to do 100 things. You have to play 100 roles in life: mother, father, boss, employee, driver, cleaner,
Big house, big
child,
car, multiple
right?
cars, multiple
Yeah,
house.
exactly, right? So 100 roles are there. So fundamental question is, what is that you and I are seeking in those roles? Because in each of those roles, you and I have to do something. What is that you and I are seeking? Because that is the root, one of the root cause of the, the binding that we feel while doing. See, some of us may say, oh, I like doing these things because I enjoy doing this. I don't want to do these. That is also a binding,
Yes.
which means that I have a partiality towards certain activities. And if I am in a position to only accept those, let's say, enjoyable activities, I'm okay. What I'm essentially then saying is that if I happen to be in those so-called unfavorable activities, some of us say, no, you know what? The one thing that I hate about my life is in the morning having to do the dishes. Some of us may say like that. Everything else I like, but dishes, no, I hate it simply. Like that, I'm just giving a simple example that all of us can relate to. But each one of us have something like that, may have something like that in our own different parts of our life. Some of us may say, everything is okay, but driving to office, no. Ayyo, Rama, don't ask me. The miserable thing. Everything is okay, but if I have to work with my juniors, no, in office, ayyo, don't even ask me. Everything is okay, but there is a lot of politics that goes on in my office. Somehow I don't like it. So like that, there is something or the other as an activity in life that bothers me, right? So the fundamental question that you and I need to ask is, what is that you and I are seeking through any of these activities? So when I say that I enjoy these activities and I don't enjoy these activities, what is in it that is making me feel I'm not enjoying? So the fundamental question is the activity the cause of my enjoyment? That is my fundamental binding in life. That is how I am bound. Because I'm saying I'm bound to some activity. You give me the activity that I like, I'm okay. You give me the activity that I don't like, I'm not okay. So I have become now a prisoner of some kind of activity in life. So I have to first of all find freedom in this logic, no? What is this logic constructed out of? There are three fundamental elements in this logic. Three fundamental elements in this logic. One is, I have a desire to do something, which is what I and you call as aim. I want this. That is how any activity begins. No, I want chocolate. As a small child, I want chocolate. Amma, appa. And for that, I cry or I go and make faces. Sometimes when I make faces, Amma, appa are so happy that, wow, my child is doing so many faces. Let me give chocolate. Or sometimes they don't anymore like my doing faces. So then I start crying. Then they say, "Ayo, enough of this crying. Let's get him a chocolate." So I have a desire and I act for that desire. And I learn that when I have a desire and when I act, then I get fruits, right? So there is a logic that builds in my mind. A aim, and I have to act for that aim, and then I get that whatever that I aim for. If I get whatever I aim for, you and I call it as, wow, I succeeded in it, right? That is what you and I call as success, no, in life. What is success or what is winning? I have a aim and I acted for it and I got it. That is what you and I call as winning or success. If I don't, you and I call it as failure. So the fundamental logic is aim, action, result. I have an aim, and I act for it and I get a result. If the result is favorable, I'm okay. And then I look at, okay, I got 1,000 rupees. Now let me see how I can get lakh rupees. So I change my aim, but I'm still acting. So this fundamental loop, this is the loop that each one of us is caught up in. This is the loop of the doing. This loop of doing. And this is what our scriptures and realized masters also refer as karma bandhana. Why? Because I'm stuck in this loop. I have a desire, I have to fulfill the desire. For that, I have to act. And when I act, I get a result. And if the result is favorable, I'm okay. If the result is not favorable, I'm miserable. So I'm stuck in this loop, this continuous aim, action, result, aim, action, result. So the fundamental binding, therefore, for me, in the so-called world of action, when I'm doing, is being caught up in this loop. So now, in a way, if you imagine, this loop is like a triangle. There's aim, there's action, there is result. And the result leads to my next action. So how do I free up from this loop? How do I become free from this loop? So therefore, Sri Krishna teaches you and me step by step. The first thing that he wants you and me to become free from is in this loop, the aim is not the problem. See, you and I desiring lakh rupees is not the problem, or 1 crore rupees is not the problem. And you and I acting for that also is not the problem. You and I go do so many things is not the problem. Did I get it or not? Did I receive it or not? You know how much I did for my family, and they never cared for me. They never praised me. So the result of my aim is what I'm usually caught up with. Look at the nature of the suffering in the mind. The aim is not the main reason of suffering. The work that I did is also not the main reason of suffering. Did I get that result or not? The result causes all the suffering in the world. So therefore, what I want to enjoy in life is the result. Aim is not enjoyable, no. I want to eat mango. It's still a aim, desire. And I went to the store to buy that. It's still not fulfillment. It is still action. I got the mango, but the mango is rotten. Che, my karma. Now is where I'm not able to enjoy. So this loop fundamentally, therefore, has this bearing on this enjoyership. So Sri Krishna first wants you and me to break that logic. Become okay. You aim, you act, but be okay with success or failure. You have the right to perform the action, but not the results. Thus, he is helping you and me, first of all, find freedom from enjoyership. Because in this loop, there are three things. Why should I act? I've not even questioned that first. Why should I have an aim? I've not questioned that yet. And how should I act? We have not yet seen that. But first is become free from this ever wanting to get only favorable results. You have no claim. Don't make any claim on the results of your action. So thus, Sri Krishna first is breaking that point in the loop. Because the loop can be broken if starting with one of them, no. And what is the most easier thing to get us caught up in misery? Is this fruit of the action. Did I get it or not? So therefore, he's beginning from there. Stop worrying about results of your action. You have no control over results of your action. So thus, the journey of finding total freedom begins. Because Sri Krishna wants you and me to function in life like how he functioned in life. Sadhguru wants you and me to function in life like how he functions in life. How he functions? Total freedom, total joy. When all the time, where all the places, in what activities? In all activities. How is that possible? I only enjoy talking to some customers. I don't enjoy talking to some other customers. But Sadhguru's life is not like that. He talks to miserable people, he's happy. He talks to happy people, he's happy. He talks to people who are insulting to him, he's happy. So there must be some other logic. There must be some other higher principles of life that must be enabling him to be in that way of functioning, no? That enlightened way of functioning, that higher way of looking at life is what Sri Krishna wants to teach you and me also. So first, therefore, he's teaching that essential principle. Act. Don't be attached to the fruit of your action. Or the same thing can be said in another way. Act. Accept both success and failure. Whatever may be the fruit of your action, accept it. Is another way through which you will find freedom from enjoyership.
Awesome.
Anything more to be added or anything to be asked?
No, Vijayji. We go with the second one. We'll accept both. No Raga Dvesha.
Both are two sides of the same coin.
Correct.
If you are okay with either of them, you're okay. If you accept either of them, you're okay.
Okay, yes. That is the conclusion.
Because then he will teach us
Mm-hmm.
how to find freedom from doership,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
which we can contemplate in our next session.
Next session, yes.
Padmaji, Krishnaji, anybody else? Shubhaji, Saranji, anybody, anything more to add?
No.
Sir, nothing to add. Sir, I just have a question. The part about the yagnas, does it come in chapter 3 or 4, sir?
So he starts teaching about yagna, the
In
way
3,
to go
right?
from action, right from, in fact, it is right in the beginning of 2 itself. So because
2
at the end
itself.
of the
No,
day,
but the all the different kinds are mentioned in 3,
3
starting from
onwards.
3,
Correct,
right?
correct.
3 and 4 both.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Shall we conclude?